me.
All right. Let me hit that record real quick. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with my boy Zack. He got the shiny head, the beard that makes the ladies want to go to bed. He goes to church rocking them ties, and his car is named Snake Eyes. What's up, Zack?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I know.
I had that one planned for a while.
Yeah. I wrote that shit. That was a freestyle on top of the dome.
Right.
Earlier. I just wrote it down.
Okay. I was going to say, freestyle from earlier, right?
How do we know each other, Zack?
Oh, man, shoot. Met each other when we moved to Hemet back in 2011, so it's been like 8 years, man.
It's a long-ass time.
I know.
We met Zack in Parkway Baptist Church. Are we still at the little place? The little one?
Yeah, we're still at the little property at the time.
We had our services on the hot ass bus.
Right.
Were you still there at that time?
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, be on the little bus with yeah, it was fun.
I was gonna say like what that last since 2019 and 20 been a hard ass times for everybody. I feel like what I realized during this time the most is to really appreciate and not take for granted conversations with people. Because we know way too well it might be your last one.
Exactly.
And then so I just want to tell you that I appreciate you and your friendship, and that you over the last year you definitely moved up on the list.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you too. It's definitely
don't make me cry, brother.
Right. No, we've definitely had our times of not talking, whether it be busyness or whatever. But no, it's good to be back on the same page with everything. So
with the friends list, a lot of people don't know. It's just like a mental list. I like it's not even like there's no actual list. I just tell people when to get on my bad side. Ranking. I was like, well, you just moved down the list.
It's a mental ranking that channels your inner Chris Jericho if you just make a list.
You just made it off the list, buddy. And you know what? If you ever listen to this, you haven't texted me in 2 days, you definitely moved down the list.
Either that or he died in a riot from Walmart last night.
Ooh, don't say that, bro. That's touching.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Take that back.
I'm pretty sure they're closed. He didn't even work yesterday. It was Sunday.
That's right. I know they're open today. I went shopping today, so.
Oh, what'd you get?
I didn't see them. Some Doritos, linguiça sausage, and cheddar cheese.
Okay. Yeah. So I remember one time we went to some youth conference. We did something, right? And then we were dropping everybody off back at home, and we dropped you guys off at your house. And it's the first time I've ever seen your dad. He was in a lawn chair in his underwear, bro.
Dude, tanning oil and everything.
Bro, that was comedy.
I think that was the last time my dad tried tanning.
Yeah, it was good.
In public. It was bad.
Yeah,
bro. That was every once in a while I'll remember that memory too. It's just like, oh man.
Bro, I feel like we've known each other for a long time, but I really don't know a lot about you. It's because like I feel like we don't have like I don't have these like conversations with many people like how I want to, because like I said, like over this last year I really appreciate like the conversations, and like I cherish that out of anything in life right now. That's what I cherish the most, having like long like deep conversations with people and getting to know them. And I don't do that with many people because I don't know that many people, but like I don't really know that much about you. I feel like we were like friends all go through our church, but we weren't close. Like we didn't really talk.
Close, yeah.
And so I want to know. I don't know if you know, but I want to know what your first opinions of me were when you first started going to church, and like your opinions now that you kind of know me more.
Oh man. Okay. So.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, when we were first. No, dude. When we first started coming, the church we were coming from was a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had the teen group that was like like the quote unquote cooler teens, and then you had like everybody else, and you had like the super weird teens, right?
Of course, that's everywhere.
And right, exactly. So like I was in that like middle group, but also associated with a lot of like the cooler teens or whatever.
Okay, I see you.
So when we moved up here, it was like, all right, let's see, where everybody kind of files in and falls in, and it was out like between you, Anthony, and like Justin was like, all right, like those are kind of like the cool guys.
Yeah.
That everybody, like those are the guys that like they'll play the sports, like they're the more popular ones in the group, like the go all the activities.
It's true.
Like when people ask for volunteers for like, oh hey, who's gonna come play this game to represent your group? Like, all right, those are those guys. Like, cool.
Yeah. It wasn't me. I was always the other thing. I would never go up in front of the church.
It was also one of those like
guilt
association things where it was like, all right, like he's with him, so yeah, that's probably how that goes.
Yeah.
And then it took me the first couple months to realize that you guys weren't actually brothers.
Like, a lot of people thought we were brothers. You said you said like you're talking about like cool people and weird people. You said Justin. I feel like I love Justin to death now, but he was an asshole back then. I don't think he was part of us really. I think he would agree. He would agree with that.
He was like with you guys, but then like as time went on, I was like, okay, wait, maybe he's like here, but he's like one weird. Like you might be that one weird person.
Yeah.
That jerk. It's like everybody's just like, all right, well, whatever, he's here, so we're not gonna question it.
My man was just.
And then it was like, oh, well, Avery and Justin are brothers. Well, that makes more sense. They're just together anyway, so...
Yeah.
We just got a mixed group now.
I think a lot of people thought I was brothers with it. It's because, like, I'm going to get into it more when I talk to Anthony on the podcast, but, like, when I met him, I was actually friends with Jacob at first. And I don't have it, like, I went over to their house one time and I started hanging out with Anthony, and they're like... I don't know, I didn't know who I was back then. And even when I was with him, I still didn't know who I was, so I was kind of like, he was kind of molding me. But, like, I learned, like, myself. And now I feel like we're, like, I would say complete opposites, so we're not the same people that people thought we were. Yeah, so, like, he's more I wasn't popular. He was popular. Like, I was just a loser just trying to find my way. And I was the funny guy. I was the funny guy. I was the funny guy. But... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely
are.
You damn right I am. Say it again. Let us. But
still are.
But yeah, I think that all was a good experience for all of us. I think we're all just helped us find our way.
Yeah, exactly. And then as the years passed, we kind of realized too what we meant to each other.
Yeah,
even in this past year and a half, we've all kind of figured out like where we stand in each other's lives.
Yeah, of course.
So. As far as like everybody's got their private lives and what they want to tell people and everything, but like on that same level, it's like, keeping your friends in the loop as far as significant life changes.
I take friendship really seriously. Like, you can probably tell that I don't have that many friends, so I'm not out whoring my friendship around.
Right. Oh, well, that's a good way to word that one. Yeah, exactly right.
Maybe I should have said that. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you do. It's just I liked growing up, because like I said, I'm not popular, right? I've never really been popular. I've always been more quiet unless you know me. So I'm always observing people. That sounds weird to say. I'm always observing people, but I'm
the same way.
I know there's a lot of snakes and fake people, dog, and I stay clear of it, and I try to treat anybody how I would want to be treated, and it doesn't always work out. People take advantage of it, but hey, man, it's better than being.
And one big difference between. Like I said, like whoring your friendship. It's like there's people where it was like there's a difference between being friends with everybody and like being like acquaintances, where it's like you and me can pretty much get along with anybody that we come across. It's like, and we've invited a bunch of people into our quote unquote friend circle over the years, where it's like picked them up along the way, whether it be like Miles or Smart or whoever, what I mean? Like people that we've met along the way, where it's just like, all right, yeah, dude, like we're going to do this, let's go hang and do that,
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's people where it's like we see once in a while, and it's like, see how they're doing, make sure they're still doing good, and then keep going. Where it's like you're just kind of acquaintances with them.
Yeah, of course. But like, I feel like lately I've been wanting to see how like everybody feels and things, because I'm always trying to learn, right?
Right, of course.
And if you're not learning and improving yourself, then what are you doing?
You gotta have like growth mindset.
Exactly. So I'm trying to learn. That's why I want to take other people's experience and see how I can learn from it. That's why I love having like deep conversations with people, even though lately I've only been having with like 2 or 3 people maybe. But I enjoyed that like so much. Like now, like it's something. Like I said, I honestly wish I could have done it with my father. We didn't really have many deep conversations, and now that I realize how important it is, I wish I would have learned more from him. But hey, man, you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay. One thing I want to ask you is like, because I always think about this for myself. Like, what is your definition of success for you personally?
That's okay.
It doesn't need to be definition, but like what your dream of success is.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Because there's definitely a couple different ways to, I guess, define success. Whether it be like in your
I don't need you to define it to me, because everybody's is different. I just want to know, like, when you see yourself in the future being successful, what is it that you see?
Being where I want to be at as far as my career.
Which is what?
Being board certified behavior analyst.
Okay. Yeah. Which is kind of what you do now, right?
Yeah, similar to what I do now, but it'd be one of the higher levels of, as far as not diagnosing, but figuring out what the behaviors are, what treatments will be best, and then things like that, and figuring out like behavior support plans and stuff like that.
That's dope. I've been in that kind of like field of work, and I don't know, man. I don't. It's not. I mean, it's hard to explain unless you're in it. It's like rewarding, but like you don't feel rewarded. Not that you should be, but it's like it's a lot, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot, and like, well, for me, I feel like I've always thought about it. Success for me is when I see myself in the future, bro. I just want to be happy, and at the moment, I don't know what that means, but like, in my career, I really want to make stuff like people can enjoy, like whether it's having a podcast that is successful, or just like I really want to be making movies and TV shows, or writing or editing, something like that, because like that's what gets me through all my hard times, is watching different stories and reading them, and like looking at someone else's life. That sounds weird. Looking at like figuring just a story, you know what I mean? Just I love stories. Yeah, I love stories.
People that went through similar situations, figure out how they got through it, so you could learn and apply it to yourself.
And then something I know we haven't had much luck with this, but like love is very important.
Right, exactly.
And like I said, we haven't had much luck. I'm not gonna get to that, but
right,
like
that's a subject for another day.
Yeah. But like when I think about love, like I'm not just thinking about like a lot of people when they look at love, they're just like they just think about like sex and stuff like that,
the
right?
Physical part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I want someone who can like I could truly talk to and like comfortable with, you know what I mean? And like you just get each other, you know what I mean? Like there's no awkwardness between it. I mean, which is probably come in time when you meet someone, but I just want it to be like so fluent, like you guys are on the same page, you guys raise each other up, and like and that's part of my mission for success. That my career, and just being able to do what I want to do, you know what I mean? I don't want to I really don't want to work for anybody besides myself.
Yeah, exactly. And then as far as having that significant other where it's like you guys really do just complete and build each other.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. That's where I'm at. Be where I want to be as far as my career, and then wife, kids, all that good stuff. Own a home, and eventually
but I feel like
have that dream car that I can build too.
I feel like car. I know you love cars. We'll get into that in a minute. But like for love, like for right now at our age, I feel like I heard this. Daryl said this to me. Like that can't be our main focus, and that's where a lot of people go wrong. They're so focused on love that they just find anybody and everybody, and they just give them their love. Sometimes it's not reciprocated back, or sometimes it kind of is, but not really. And then like you just grow apart, and that's not real love. That's not what I'm looking for. That's why you really taking his time by choice or not by choice. And I think you got to love yourself first, and that's something last couple years I haven't done, and I know many people don't love themselves, and that's hard to accomplish. So I feel like when you love yourself enough, then you'll be able to put that love into somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I completely agree, because there's definitely been times where it's like where I'm on the same page, where it's like I'm putting more love out to everybody else than I am into my own self.
It's facts.
Which I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound prideful when I say this, but it's like I don't know. I have the gift of unconditional love, so it's like it doesn't matter to me.
Everybody's got a gift.
How much I put out, you know what I mean? It's like I've kind of learned that I most of the time put out more love than I will receive back, but it's also something I've just learned. It's like, okay, well, that's how my life's gonna be.
Yeah.
But that can also put me into a trap of, I do too much, and I don't realize that I'm not receiving as much back as I should be.
Man.
Where it'll lead to hurt sometimes. So
yeah, I feel like you just. But the way I look at it is, I'm just gonna focus on myself. I know it's hard. I know it's real hard because like you just think about it all day sometimes. But I just focus on myself, and I feel like stuff is gonna fall into place. Not that everything's just gonna fall in your lap. I just feel like
right, exactly.
Yeah, it's not. You know what I mean? It's just stuff is gonna fall into place. Hopefully. That's the goal. Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, not that you can't put work in, because you obviously have to put work in no matter what it is. That's love, friendship, your career, anything. You have to put the work in if you want to succeed, no matter what. And so, I learned like growing up, especially like in the church days, like I didn't take mental health that seriously. You know what I mean?
I don't think any of us did, really.
Yeah. Obviously, because you're young, you don't really know what that means, right?
Exactly. So, you don't take into consideration, as a younger person, how much mental health is really important.
Exactly, bro. And then so after Pops passed away, it's like, and then like I was kind of like really alone. I kind of isolated myself.
Right.
And then like I really had to sit back and was like, fuck, I don't mean to cuss, but I was just like,
that's
stuff is bad, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've learned too over these past couple like weeks and months is like that when I really get down, like that's one thing I'll do. It's like I'll isolate and I will like not communicate. I won't talk to nobody. I'll just kind of go into this like this not self-deprecate, like a rut. That's exactly. Where it's just like wake up, go to work.
Yeah. You're a robot. You're a robot.
Go into robot mode.
That's how I explain it. Yeah.
Robot mode, exactly. And then I realized this past couple of weeks and past couple of months where it's like, okay, I can't do that. Like I need to reach out to people. I need to talk to people. I need to find healthier coping mechanisms and because I mean, video games has always been one of my coping mechanisms.
But even that gets tiresome.
Exactly. That'll get tiresome, and then like either that or making unwise decisions, usually financially, where it's like, I'm gonna go buy this expensive thing for my car for myself because I don't ever buy anything for myself. I just work to pay my bills, so I'm gonna go spend some insane amount of money on something and then regret it.
And then realize you got nowhere to go in that car.
Exactly. Then realize you ain't got nowhere to go in the car, or you gotta pay. Yeah, exactly. So
I'm the same way, bro. A lot of only people that like are really close to me know that, but I have like I realized I had super bad anxiety. I didn't know what it meant before, or anything until I started taking CBD oil, bro. That's the good
that
stuff,
helps
bro.
a lot.
Oh,
yeah,
my
exactly.
goodness. I feel like everybody should be on some CBD oil.
Right. I've never been one. I've used it.
I mean, it's not a drug. No, it's not.
No,
it's not a bad thing. It's beneficial, right? It helps your body, your mind.
It just takes the cannabinoids out of plants. Without the THC.
Yeah. Well, you can't get with THC.
To give the medical benefits of it, and it's like my mom and my brother use it, for pain and sleep and stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
But it's like I've never had the need to use it. Where it's like I don't have. I know people with anxiety. Like there's you and there's other people that I've known that have like serious anxiety. So it's like I know what they go through and I've seen it and I kind of know how to help them through it.
Yeah,
but
it's hard. It's hard to explain.
Having that as a way to help, kind of like settle yourself down at the peak times, definitely helps.
But I swear, it's like when you have anxiety, it's like another person living inside your head.
Yep.
You always got a tug of war, bro. And
yeah.
I don't think it's the worst thing ever because sometimes it helps you. But obviously, sometimes when you're down, that shit, bro. So the other day. Like I ain't had nothing to do, so I was like the first. I haven't took CBD in a while, so my mom got me some,
Right.
and then I took some, bro. I went for a jog or a run around the neighborhood. Bro, that was the most relaxed run I've ever had in my life.
Right.
I was like, whoa. Man, that felt good. Because even running itself is a stress reliever. So when you add 2 stress relievers at the same time,
right, exactly.
That's magical.
You kind of get that double dose,
yeah.
And that's one thing. It's like I've had anxiety, without self-diagnosing or sounding like complete butthole trying to relate to everything.
All right, doctor.
Right, exactly.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Right, like I've had moments where it's like I could feel like anxious and anxiety, where it's like I'm questioning everything and I'm overthinking, like things like that, where it's like I've had those moments, but it's never something I've constantly dealt with.
Yeah.
So, even in I get what it's about, how it works, and I've also learned through research like how to deal with it, not just like for myself, but so I can help other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the way I am. Like I want, if I can help, I will.
I feel like to counter that, I don't feel like there's really no way to help somebody else. That person just has to. What I've learned is the person just has to figure it out themselves. Like that's why I don't talk about it much, because I had to find a way to deal with it. It's my mind. Nobody can know what's going on in my mind. Like I can't know what's going on in your mind. The only thing I could do is you could tell me, and I could maybe try to understand. But it's literally impossible to understand somebody else's mind. And so I know that. So I had to try to deal with that myself. And I also don't like, if you know me for a long time, I don't like bringing other people down. That's why I've always been the funny guy, because I want to try to like lift people up.
Exactly.
And so I don't like talking about like unless we're really like there's probably one person, maybe 2 people that like I really really talk about the shit I go through with.
Because I'm the same way. What you do is you're so used to helping people with their own burdens and wanting to help them that you don't want to put your burdens onto them and add to it.
Facts.
So you're like, yeah, exactly. No, believe me, I know exactly how that feels, because you're sitting there, you're like, man, I got my own stuff I got to deal with, but then they got their stuff they got to deal with, so I don't want to talk to them about my stuff.
Right.
Because then they're just going to be doing the same thing I'm doing, where we're both worrying about each other's problems on top of our own problems. So yeah, I know exactly how that deal goes. Yeah, no, and what I mean by like me helping people with like learning how to help people with anxiety, it's like, because there's people that I've known that it's like when they're going through those times, it's like they know they have it, but they don't always know how to kind of cope or rationalize with it. Where it's like, okay, like take a step back, take some deep breaths, count to 10, like things that you're still doing yourself, but you're also like the person's like kind of like helping you along, like, hey, like do this step, do these little things to help yourself get through this high intense moment, to bring yourself back together, so to speak.
Of course. So one thing that I want to talk to you about specifically, because I know what I respect about you is that you're really strong in your beliefs, right?
Yes.
And we grew up in church together. Well, not grew up, but we went to church for a long time together.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to know how, and it probably hasn't changed at all, your view on religion is now compared to when we first met.
If anything, it's got, like you said, it's gotten a little bit stronger, just because when I was younger, it was like I believed it because it's what I've always known. But then as I got older, it was like, okay, well, that can't just be the reason why I believe and do what I do. I have to find more solid reasons. So that's where like I started studying and looking into the science side of things and the historical side of things, where it's like, as far as science, it's like, okay, well, most everybody else believes in Big Bang Theory, everything came from nothing, that type of stuff, right? But if you really break down science and how it works, like you can't just create nothing or create everything from nothing. Like there has to be a start. and then where did that start come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's more. So I'd say from where we were at, to where we are now, I'd definitely say I'm a little bit stronger in it, just because I can more defend in my position as far as why I believe, and point to more. Said, oh well, why do you? Oh, because the Bible says so. Well, how do you know the Bible's true? It's like, okay, well, here, let me break it down for you a little bit more as to why I believe these things are true.
All right. With that being said, get ready to defend. No, I'm just playing.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you how I feel now.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
See, even back then, I wasn't. I don't know. I took what I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I don't let another man, no disrespect, I love everybody who's taught me anything,
tell you what to believe.
Yes, exactly. I don't let another man tell me what to, because you're the same as me. I feel like just because you got a degree, don't mean a degree in studying something that you could tell me what to believe, when there's really if we're being honest, there's no. I mean, obviously, you're going to counter this, but there's no real answer. There's no definitive. You can't show me something with proof besides the Bible, which we'll get into. With that being said, I'm not bagging Christian. I am a Christian still. I believe in God. Okay.
Right.
Let me get that straight. I believe in God. Because why would I not want to believe in God? What do I want to believe that? You just die in a hole for eternity
and nothing happens, right?
What does that even mean? I'm not gonna get into that. I think I talked about that before. But I want to believe I do believe there's a God, right? But some of the stuff, I feel like any religion, they're just pushing their own agenda. You know what I mean? I feel like now it's more of a business.
Yeah, there's definitely. I feel parts of the church that have fallen into more of a business rather than what it should be.
Yeah.
Which is helping people and helping them grow and learn within that religion or belief system.
I have my own beliefs, right? And so I know a lot of especially, I can only speak for the Baptist church because that's what I grew up in.
Right, exactly.
They're not too fond on gay marriage and stuff like that. I believe we don't have a right to question any of that. It's not our place to judge, so I don't get why we put so much time and effort to make sure they're not happy. You know what I mean? And stuff like music too. I don't get why just because something has a certain type of beat to it, you can say all the right words, but something has a beat to it, it's of the devil. And there's just a lot of stuff I don't agree with. And one thing, especially lately, I know a lot of people have this question, but how do we know the people who wrote the Bible aren't just they just didn't fabricate some stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know I know these are questions that really can't be answered, but that's just what I've been thinking about lately. I believe there's a God. I still pray. I still do. I want to say all this stuff. All I do, I believe in God. I'm gonna say that I believe in God, but
exactly.
I don't know my beliefs. I'm not because you see a lot of these Christians. I don't want to bag on all Christians. You see a lot of these people who go to church. I feel like, I don't know, brainwash is a word to say, but they're so whatever this guy says, I'm gonna believe that because he's 100% right.
They're focused on the man that's teaching, and not who's being taught about. Where they'll focus on whatever the preacher says, the preacher is true, and that's where churches get in trouble.
Yeah,
and how a church dictatorship will happen, where it's church, the people in the church just take whatever the preacher says as absolute truth, just because he's the man of God, quote unquote.
They be stretching some verses sometimes too.
There's a lot of
stretching verses.
There's verses that are definitely stretched sometimes.
Yeah.
But the only time that a verse can't be stretched as much as it is sometimes is when there's when the context lines up, and then there's other not other context clues, but there's other parts in the Bible that also line up with what is being said in that verse.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can point to not like oh, this verse says this, so that's why you got to believe like that. Yeah. Okay, well, what is the verse before and after that, and what does the whole context of that say? Like, is that what that actually means?
Yeah.
And then the other part is like, okay, well, where else in the Bible does it say that, so that we can know that that's what that actually means?
Okay.
So
do you? This probably has nothing to do with church, but yeah, I want to get off that topic. But so, do you believe in aliens?
Oh man, see, okay, I will bring church back into it a little bit, but not to what you may think I will.
Okay.
So, the Bible does say that anything is possible with God.
Kevin Garnett said that also.
Right.
He's technically a god. I don't know. Keep going.
You say Kevin Garnett?
Yeah, anything is possible. You remember that? All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, so with that, it's like, on one hand, I will say that, yeah, I will. There's definitely, I can like sit there and be like, yeah, you know what, aliens are possible. There's definitely, whether it be conspiracy theorists, complete conspiracy theory or not, evidence, Area 51, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, well, aliens are possible. There is that little bit of evidence that we've seen. Is it fabricated? Is it not? Who knows?
Yeah.
There's definitely part of me that's like, hey, yeah, that's definitely possible. And I know I'd be looked at, with most people in the church, like, you're crazy. Well, the Bible doesn't say that.
I don't understand why. So why can't we believe that there's a God in heaven and a devil in hell, but you can't believe there's another life on a different planet? That doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
The biggest reason that I've always heard is, well, if God wanted us to know about it, he would have put it in the Bible, or there'd be more evidence of it.
What if he just forgot?
Well, with God being all-knowing, there's nothing that he can quote-unquote forget. But I get what you're saying.
What if he didn't want us to know?
But if exactly, there's also things in the Bible that are a mystery to us.
I honestly think
we won't know about until we get to heaven or whatever, until the afterlife. So I think that might be one of those things where it's like we'll never truly know.
Yeah.
Until later.
I honestly believe it's crazy to not believe in aliens. Out of all the galaxies or the unknown universe, how is there not something else out there? What makes us so special that we're the only ones here? And people say like alien and stuff, like, oh, we've never seen it on Peru. What makes you think they want to come here? They're probably so much more advanced than us. They probably look at this world like, what the hell is that?
Right, they look at us like,
why the hell would I want to go to that dungeon? Those dinosaurs.
Dumpster fire. At this point, it's a dumpster fire sometimes.
Right. Oof, yeah.
We
on curfew, by the way. You got 10 minutes to go do what you want.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, rioters and looters.
Ooh, no, thank you, police officers. All right, let's not get into that.
Right, that too.
I'm gonna talk about that with somebody else later.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear two white people's opinions on it.
No, not at all. So, but within the context of aliens,
I'm for equality, by the way. But
100% agree.
Okay.
Let's clarify.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah.
Before we get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Within the context of aliens, it's like I will say that I do believe that there's a possibility, and that the evidence for it is definitely strong.
Yeah.
But it's like it's there. I can definitely believe it and get behind that theory.
How do you know I'm not an alien?
Right.
I feel like I think like an alien.
There's definitely times.
I honestly feel like I think so much different from everybody else. I don't know if that sounds cocky or not, but I just be in my own world in my head. Like,
yeah. No, that's fair.
We've been going for like 30, 45 minutes. I think it might be time to wrap it.
Dang, I didn't realize we were going that long.
I feel like that was our first one. I feel like that was good. I feel like
good start.
Yeah.
Very good start. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining, dude.
Of course, man.
I'll probably do it again, but with somebody else. Maybe Justin or somebody.
Right.
I really want to get Daryl on, bro.
If we can get Daryl on and get the three of us to really discuss some topics, it'd be a lot of fun.
Right. Maybe we do while playing GTA. I'll figure out how to set that up.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that'd be record our gameplay and.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end it there, dog. Thank you
for the combo. Anytime.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right.